So, are you tired of just guessing which products are actually going to sell? Well, in this explainer, we're totally skipping the basics. We are jumping straight into a powerful, data-driven framework that's going to help you spot high-demand products with something like a 70 to 80% success rate. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay, the very first thing you've got to get into your head is this. Finding a winning product, it's not about luck. It's not about stumbling onto some secret gold mine. It's really about learning to read the market's language. It's a skill, and it's built on interpreting very specific signals and patterns that tell you the real story of what customers actually want. And that right there, that brings us to the first and honestly the most crucial shift in your mindset. This is the core difference that really separates the beginners from the pros. See, a beginner, they look at a product and they ask a really simple question. Is this thing selling right now? But an advanced seller, they ask a much more powerful question. Okay, but will this product sell consistently? Will it still be selling 6 months, even a year from now? The entire advanced research process starts right there, with that focus on the long game, on predictability. So, how do you actually find that predictability? Well, you do it by learning to read the market signals. So let's break them down and decode them one by one. First up is something called search intent mapping. Now, this isn't just about what keywords people are typing in. It's about understanding how they search. You've got to dig into the why behind their search, because that's where you're going to find the real unmet customer needs. Just think about all the different ways people might search for the exact same item. Someone might look for a water bottle for hiking. That's usage-based, right? Another person could search for a 32-ounce water bottle. That's size-based. And a third person, they might want one with a straw lid. That's feature-based. When you see all these different layers of search intent piled on top of each other, that is a massive signal that the demand is deep, it's robust, and it's really strong. Next up, you have to do a demand distribution check. You really need to figure out if all the sales are just going to one or two huge dominant brands, or if that demand is spread out across a whole bunch of different sellers in the market.
And this chart here shows you exactly why that's so important. On the left, you've got a market that's just dominated by one seller. That is a super high-risk game with huge barriers to entry. But look at the right. You've got a market where the sales are spread out. That tells you it's a much healthier, more competitive space, and it's a far safer place for a new seller to jump in and actually succeed.
Okay, signal number 3 is review velocity. And please, don't be fooled by products that have thousands of reviews from years ago. What really, truly matters is the rate of recent reviews. Are new reviews popping up consistently every single week? That's the proof of current momentum. It validates that people are buying this thing right now.
So here's the bottom line on that. A steady, consistent flow of recent reviews is a direct signal of steady, consistent, and, most importantly, current demand.
All right, let's talk about results stability analysis. This is a powerful signal for a product that's built to last. The advanced tactic here is actually pretty simple. Search for your main keyword on, say, 3 or 4 different days. Are the top results pretty much the same every time, or are they constantly changing? Because here's the thing. If those search results are stable, it means customers are finding the products they want organically. They aren't just being swayed by some fleeting trend or a bunch of aggressive ad campaigns. This tells you the market is mature, and sales are probably going to be predictable for the long haul. Now here's a subtle but really powerful signal. Price band compression. Think about the price of, say, a standard 1-liter stainless steel water bottle. You'll find that most brands sell it within a surprisingly narrow price range, right? That means the market has settled down and buyers have kind of mentally accepted a standard price for that product's value. It's a huge sign of a stable, mature category. Next, you've got to know that advanced sellers are absolutely obsessed with the demand longevity signal. They don't just avoid those short-term fads, they actively hunt for evidence that a product's demand is going to stand the test of time, exist outside of trends and seasons. After all, longevity is the bedrock of a real, sustainable business. Now this next signal, this is a total game changer. Complaint frequency analysis. You see, advanced sellers don't look at customer complaints as a negative thing. They see them as a treasure map. If you start analyzing reviews and see the same exact complaint popping up over and over again across multiple competing products, you have literally struck gold. Because what that signal is screaming at you is this: the demand for this thing is high, but the products out there right now are incomplete or they're flawed. This is the absolute foundation of product differentiation. If you can create a product that solves that one recurring complaint, you have a clear, well-defined path to capturing the market. It's that simple.
Okay, so we've looked at all the individual signals. Now let's forge them all together into a powerful toolkit that you can use to evaluate any product idea you have.
And here it is, the Advanced Golden Framework. Think of it as your checklist. You run any potential product through it. You check for intent depth, that's the why behind the search. Result stability, is it a mature market? Review velocity, is there current momentum? Demand distribution, is it a healthy competitive space? Price compression, is there a settled price point? Complaint frequency, that's your opportunity to innovate. And finally, demand longevity, is it a sustainable business model? And here's the rule of thumb that goes with the framework. If a product category checks off 70 to 80% of these signals, we're talking 5 or 6 of the 7 are strongly positive, then you can be really confident that you've found a market with strong, validated, and sustainable demand.
So, if there's just one core idea to take away from all of this, it's this. High-demand products aren't just found by getting lucky or guessing. They are decoded by systematically reading the signals that the market is already giving you.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Now that you have the framework, what signals is your market sending you? Go out there, start decoding them, and find your next winning product. Thanks so much for tuning in.